What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Act Right Out Loud podcast. I'm your host, Jermaine.
What's up, y'all? My name is Tanya.
My lovely wife.
Oh, baby.
And we want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in with us on this beautiful Saturday, June 1st. First day of June.
First day of June.
Listen.
You know, June is a special month.
It is.
For us.
Talk about it.
We have a couple of things that June represent for us.
Come on. Talk about it.
Jermaine's birthday.
Come on. I need to get a little
June 10th.
A little bit more excited about that. June 10th.
That good?
Yeah.
A little bit more?
Yeah. But it's fine.
It's okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
You sure?
It's fine. It's totally fine.
Not only is June 10th Jermaine's birthday.
Right.
June 26th is
your birthday. Woo!
Ooh.
See there? That's how you're supposed to get it.
I'm supposed to get correct like
right.
that. I'm sorry. But the caveat is
I'll take it. I'll take it. June is a very special month for us because you will see 0609. I can't tell what 0609. But that is the month and year that we met.
It is.
So
June of 2009.
Yes.
It's when Jermaine and I first met.
Yes. And so we're always excited to celebrate each other's birthdays, but then also celebrate the month and year that we met.
Do you know that it's been 15 years?
15 years.
15 years since this guy and I met.
Yes, 15 years. And
wow.
It has been joyous every single day. Joyous.
You better. It's been what, honey?
Joyous.
It has been
joyous.
So quite a word to use.
Right.
It's been a great ride.
Right. It has been a great ride. So so the month of June is very, very special to us, and we celebrate pretty much the entire month.
So happy 15th anniversary.
15th anniversary of knowing each other.
We've been married 10.
Yeah. So hopefully by now you guys had the opportunity to watch and listen to the intro that we dropped on last Saturday. And today is the first episode.
Episode 1.
Episode 1. Woo. Episode number 1. And today we are talking about marriage is more than a selfie. Marriage is so much more than a selfie. And of course, I'm sure many of you are like, what in the world are you guys talking about in terms of marriage is more than a selfie?
Well, we're going to tell you.
We are going to tell you. But Tanya, kind of give them just a little backdrop in terms of what we got tired of seeing and then what we just came up with this whole notion that marriage is more than a selfie.
You know, I think marriage is more than a selfie came about because, guys, listen, this is a topic for our podcast, but we've also had a couples retreat entitled Marriage is More Than a Selfie, where we touched on communication, real relationship realities, as opposed to what you see on social media.
Right.
You know, we got couples out there that take beautiful pictures. They look so good in their pictures when they take them. And then when you look deeper into the relationships,
right,
you see Will and Jada.
Right.
And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Wow. Shots fired. Right.
No, I'm kidding.
So, and everything that Tony just said, it is correct in terms of we were just seeing people and their post the pictures and their selfies. And then one of the things that a lot of people used to do, they would hashtag, they would see these couples
relationship
goals. And you know, some people when they hear us really discussing marriage is more than a selfie, and sometimes sense that people, I won't necessarily say they get upset with us when we kind of cringe at relationship goals, but they do kind of give us a side eye.
Yeah.
But they give us that side eye before we really get into detail in terms of why you have to really be careful
with this whole hashtag relationship goals. Yeah.
So do you want the relationship goal of taking a photo like this?
Oh, because that can be taught.
right. Or do you want to take on the responsibility all of the sacrifice that goes,
The work.
the work,
Yeah.
all that work behind that smile,
Right.
whether it is a fabricated smile or just a front or what have you.
Because there's work in fabrication as well.
This is true.
You know,
This is true. There are so many people
they
who
work hard to appear
a certain
one
way.
way. Yeah.
Yes.
And then in real life,
yes,
it's something totally different. So marriage is more than a selfie is where we took the time to really dive into the real relationship realities. What should your relationship look like? What should you want from your relationship? What should you want from each other?
Right. What you should want from your relationship, your marriage, what you want from each other.
Yeah.
The reason why marriage is more than a selfie really resonated with me is because I want to use you and I as an example.
Yeah.
When we first met, because a lot of people don't know that you were married once before, and I was single.
Yeah.
So I came into the relationship, even the marriage, with a single mindset.
Yeah.
Because I was selfish, and people will hear that.
It's so big to admit.
I know, but people will hear that, and some people will cringe. And this is, and I guess we can almost say this is for the single people as well. It's okay to be.
It's okay to be
in
single.
that selfish single. I mean,
you were single,
right? You used to doing things
your way
for yourself, your way, thinking putting you first.
Yeah.
And nobody's saying that you can't do that, but marriage within itself, a relationship within itself, it is a selfless position that you are in.
Absolutely.
So so when we say marriage is more than a selfie, we're saying, man, marriage and relationships, you can't walk into this thing being selfish. You have to be selfless.
Right. Take the ish.
Right.
Off.
Please take it off. You have to you have to put away that selfish nature. So,
and I mean, it sounds good, guys, but it's something that has to be conditioned.
Absolutely.
Because if you go, I mean, you were single for a very long time before you and I got together. And if you think about it, there were a lot of learned behaviors, things that you as a single person did on a daily basis.
Right.
And now that you're coming into a relationship, I'm not saying you have to change your individuality, but you will have to compromise and adjust into the new relationship that you are about to embark upon.
Right. So basically what I hear you saying is also is...
Did I say bark or embark? It should be embark.
Embark, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically what I hear you saying is that it's a process.
It is a process.
If you're not used to it.
Right. And so many people try to go from single to married so fast that a lot of that singleness starts to show up in the marriage.
Right.
Because they haven't processed it and dealt with it and led themselves into the new role of husband or wife.
Right. And this is one of the reasons why we are so pro premarital coaching, counseling, the whole 9 yards, because sometimes people can enter into these relationships and marriages not really understanding the sacrifice that comes along
with being in a marriage or a relationship, a monogamous relationship.
Right.
There's still responsibility, and there will be a change.
Oh yes.
Michelle,
if you want things to run smooth.
Right.
Right.
Michelle Obama said something. I was watching some type of interview that she was doing, and she was talking about marriage, and she said that society makes marriage to be this easy thing that you could just do and you could just step into it with no worries, right? And this is not verbatim. If you Google Michelle Obama marriage, you'll probably pull up the video.
Right.
But she said that it's the responsibility of couples who have healthy marriages to share with the world what it really looks like.
Right.
And so that you can get a real insight into how to have a healthy relationship instead of being this whole social media couple, or being this relationship goal couple.
Right. So basically, so what I'm hearing you say in terms of what Michelle Obama is stating, that those who have healthy relationships,
Yeah.
healthy marriages, they should be really pushing healthy
Yeah.
relationships and healthy marriages.
And this is not to say that you need to become a life coach, a marital coach, or anything of that
Yeah,
magnitude.
yeah.
It's just saying that show yourself as healthy
Yes.
and don't feed into this concept of I gotta look good. We gotta look good on social media. We gotta take our pictures like this, and we gotta do videos when we go here. So people can really see that we're happy.
Right.
Because if you're happy, you don't have to put so much effort into showing the world. It's an automatic thing that it organically happens.
Yeah, it does.
Because when people see you, they can tell you're happy.
Right. And I think the thing when I saw that because I saw it also
the video.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that really kind of stuck out to me was the fact that she was saying that the healthy couples, healthy marriages should be putting more information out. I don't believe that was her saying that every person that's in a healthy marriage and healthy relationship, they should go and start podcasts.
Right.
But they should be displaying
in the
world how healthy their marriage is and how healthy their relationship is. Notice displaying, not necessarily putting out every
not making
piece,
content.
Yes, piece of your business and this is how we argue and this is how we do this. No,
because not everybody argues.
Right. It's the wisdom behind the wisdom behind the good days and then the wisdom behind the bad days. Not saying that every healthy marriage and every healthy relationship is perfect, because there's absolutely no perfect.
Perfection does not exist in humans, period.
No, I could tell exactly what she was saying when she made the statement. So definitely, when you guys get the opportunity,
go back and look.
And look at that. It's really because good. it was really 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 good.
Yeah.
And so, but here's the thing: people can portray something. You only can portray something for so long.
Yeah.
And then with the age that we're in now, the social media age, things can happen within your marriage and in your relationship from a negative aspect, and people will immediately take their problems to social media. I'm not talking about the viral moments where something happens and but I'm talking about you purposely go and take your
relationship issues
straight to social media.
Yeah.
So marriage, it is more than a selfie. But I believe the caveat to that, or the flip side to that, is everything is not for
social media. Yeah. And I never blame social media for what I see, because it's controlled by who?
Come on.
People.
Right.
So you have the choice whether or not to share this or that.
Right.
And you also have to be cautious of when you do share things, who's watching and whose opinion you're opening yourself up to. Because people will tell you how they feel about your marriage without knowing all the facts.
Hey, these folks out
but
here,
they basing it off,
they're pretty cruel out here.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna go for it.
You got to have some thick skin. You absolutely have to have thick skin. In today's time, especially if you're gonna be dealing with
especially if you're gonna be putting things on social media.
Right. So
you're basically opening your relationship, your marriage, whatever have you, to the world so that they can share their opinions, like it or unlike it. Just be prepared for that.
So let me ask you this, because I didn't mean to cut you off. Will you give me a say something else?
Go ahead, babe.
So marriage is more than a selfie. Here I come as a single person, single mindset. Here you come from a marriage, a season of singleness. How did you
a season?
Right. Yeah. How did you manage to make your transition in terms of becoming this selfless woman again, a selfless, going into relationship ultimately engagement in marriage? Was it hard for you to make that shift, or was it most of a decision whether or not you wanted to or not?
There
Okay.
there it is.
Okay.
It was more so a decision if I wanted to be married again
Mm-hmm.
because of how my first marriage ended. And also, sometimes being selfless is embedded in us because of the roles we have in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm still a mom.
Right.
I had 3 kids with my first marriage.
Right.
And in order for them to receive from me what they needed, I had to be selfless.
That's right.
And I had to know at some point in time where I had to take care of me,
mm-hmm.
but also make sure that I was available to take care of my babies.
Right.
Right. Especially in that transition of
right.
divorce.
Right.
That's going to be a whole podcast, guys. That's going to be in a whole podcast. But to answer your question, it was a decision. It was, me deciding, is this going to be even worth me putting forth the effort to be married again,
mm-hmm.
because of how it ended before and because of everything that I experienced
mm-hmm.
from that up
mm-hmm.
until the point of you and I. So I made the right decision, though, guys.
Hey, you made a great decision.
I made the right decision.
I wanted to ask that because a lot of times when people, and this may be for listeners who may be in that particular season right now, they may be in between marriages. Maybe I want to say it like that. They may be on the brink of going into another relationship after
a divorce or another committed relationship.
Yes. And so just to kind of give them some insight in terms of, just that transition and was it hard? But I think for most people is more so most people in your position, mm-hmm. it's more so a decision on whether or not if I just come out of this, no matter how many years it was,
right?
Am I really go into? Yes.
Yeah.
So some people, when it comes to marriage and relationships, it's just embedded in them to be. I don't want this to be taken out of context. To be married or in a relationship. That's not to say that person has to be in a relationship or has to be in a marriage. That's me saying that they're individuals who just they don't get into the whole nonsense of just trying to go throughout the whole dating game and just be forever with that. They would rather, quote unquote, allow God to send them someone or that man to go find and then work that so that they can be in a space of they.
Well, we're in a time now where some women are not waiting for the man to come and find them. Some of them are going to find the man.
Okay.
And switch their role up.
Well, but let's just pause for a moment in terms of switching role up because I see no problem with the woman shooting her shot. Shooting her shot. Mm-hmm. And once she has taken that shot, mm-hmm. and they are in a healthy relationship that is going somewhere, mm-hmm. I don't expect for her to be the one proposing to him.
Okay. Because you've seen the videos, right?
Well, that was some more. I've seen the pictures and the videos, but that was some more of the reason why we kind of marriage is more than a selfie,
right?
Because we started shameless plug your book, Girl, Get Off Your Knee.
Oh, but it has nothing to do with sis being on her knee proposing.
Well, no.
No, but I get where you're going.
Yeah,
I get where you're going.
Right.
So, look, I'm all for doing what feels right to you. Mm-hmm, and if you are in a space to where you feel that proposing to your longtime boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the case may be, it's right for you, mm-hmm. Go for it. Right. Go for it. Right. As for me in my house,
oh my.
Right. I would not be the one to propose marriage, but that's because when it comes to marriage, I have a traditional mindset. Mm-hmm. I believe that God created man to be the head of the household, to lead the household, and to be the one to create the space, mm-hmm. for the wife to come in and be who she is called to be. So I would my expectations would be for you to propose to me instead of me proposing to you.
Okay.
My expectation would also be for us to discuss marriage and to talk about marriage, and if we are leading to or headed down the road of marriage. Because when people propose, I always wonder, have they discussed that? Have they talked about being married, or are they in a space to where we've been together for a year, 10 years, we might as well go and get married?
Yeah. And I don't know if that's good.
I know that's not good, because I feel like a conversation is necessary when you start getting yourself into new roles in the relationship.
Listen, when you say things like, well, we might as well go ahead and...
You might as well not.
Right. Right. I mean...
You might as well not.
But the sad part is that's the way a lot of people think. And that's the way a lot of people move.
And it's so crazy because they spend more money on the engagement photos, the announcement, the ceremony, the honeymoon, and nowhere in that time frame have they planned premarital coaching, any type of counseling, any type of guidance, have someone to be accountable to for their relationships. That is a thing, y'all. And they just jump right into the stuff that costs the most money.
Lil Rel, comedian Lil Rel, he said something that I thought was so powerful on the Breakfast Club. They were congratulating him on his engagement with his fiance.
And he proposed at Beyonce's concert.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He talked about that. And it was like, so when's the wedding? He's like, man, I don't know. He said, we're busy planning a life. Planning a life is more important than planning a wedding ceremony. Yeah. And it was like the whole room got quiet because he just dropped a bar.
And didn't even realize.
Right. And I think that is so key when it comes down.
It's necessary.
It's
necessary because you're not just joining lives. You're joining purposes. You're joining, how you're going to be in a whole different, not joining, but you're becoming someone new. You're becoming a wife. Right. You're becoming a husband. And people think that getting married is cute because they see the ceremony, they see the reception, but they never dive into what that looks like in our home. What is our home going to look like now that I'm your spouse?
Right. And those are the conversations that many, especially if
fail to have.
They fail to have this conversation. But we encourage you, if you're in a serious relationship, engaged, those are the conversations that you need to be having so that you don't mess around and go into the marriage, go into the serious part of the relationship. And
so that you don't find out after 5 years of being married that you don't know who you are.
Right. I don't even know who you are.
You can't even identify your purpose in life.
Right.
Right. I mean, sometimes that comes after you've been married, but you at least need to know who you are.
Yes.
And you need to accept and agree that you can be the spouse that is needed in order for that marriage to be successful.
Oh man, God, I totally agree. One other thing that whenever we talk about marriage is more than a selfie, we always go directly into really just talking about the marriage, the engagement, having these necessary conversations. But one of the things that and y'all, it's just, I know for me, it's embedded in me in terms of it's embedded in us in terms of we're not just having these conversations just to have them. The conversations that we're having, they are literally backed up, with scripture, in terms of scripture, from the Bible.
That's our foundation.
Right. And one of the things that Jesus says, and we kind of talk about this just for a moment, in Matthew chapter 19, verse 11 and 12. When y'all get a chance, I want y'all to read that. Matthew chapter 19, verse 11 and 12.
Hey, it's good to have a little Bible study with your spouse.
Yeah, and read it in the Message version. Read it in the Message version, because Jesus is talking to the disciples about marriage and the decision of marriage and all these different qualifications of marriage. And then one of the disciples like, well, I'm stuck then. In other words, what he said, I might as well just stay single.
Yeah.
And what Jesus was explaining to them was that you know, marriage isn't for everyone. It comes in different seasons, and you have to be ready to step into the largeness of marriage.
That's good.
The largeness. Are you large enough
Ooh, Jesus.
to go into this marriage, into this serious relationship? You got to be large enough for
Are you large enough to marry a woman from a previous relationship? She had children. Are you large enough to step in as a father figure?
Yeah.
You know, in this marriage, like, are you large enough to set aside you
Right.
for the betterment of your marriage?
Great. I'll take it a step further. Are you large enough to deal with that person's past and present?
Are you large enough to help them unload the baggage that is coming with them? Because sometimes we can't unload everything by ourselves. We need companionship in order to handle what we got packed away.
Right.
Are you large enough for that?
So and then also too, just speaking with being large enough, when you're in your marriage or when you're in your relationship, are you large enough to forgive? Are you large enough to forgive? Because listen, there will be times in your relationships, in your marriage, where things will happen, and you have to be able to have this space to forgive.
Yeah.
That's not to say that to automatically go out and just live your best life, be married and live like you're single. Oh, baby, will you forgive me? No.
Ooh.
Just right. You
totally different, guys. Don't get confused.
You have to be large enough, or some translation says, "Are you mature enough?" And there are a lot of people who are not necessarily mature enough for marriage.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I can always respect a single person when they say, "I don't know, I'm not ready for that."
Yeah.
Because I'm too selfish right now.
And it's good to identify that. If you know that you are about you right now, being in a marriage is not going to be an easy transition. Right. You're going to have to understand that being about you is great until it's not.
Right.
You're going to have to understand that being about you also includes this person that is in your life now.
Right.
So it's about y'all. Right?
Yeah.
You know, I see a whole lot of self-care. Wives. Self-care.
Come on.
What?
Come on. Come on. Self-care Saturday. Yeah. Self-care. Yeah.
I knew you were going to say that. But self-care is great, right? Take care of yourself, because you can't be good for someone if you're not good for yourself.
Right.
Take care of yourself. But when you get in a marriage, let's normalize couples care. Let's normalize us taking care of each other mentally, physically, emotionally.
Right.
Whatever that looks like in your relationship, normalize taking care of each other. Right. Couples care is just as important as self-care.
Right. Right. And it's almost that couples care is you have two people who in a marriage, in a relationship, and one person is always doing self-care, always taking care of themselves, but then the other person, they don't take care of themselves. It's almost like going to the gym and just working out your right arm, but then
the left arm over
it's
here
just
weak,
dangling and just
it can barely hold itself up.
Right, can't live nothing. So which also can easily suggest that there has to be some balance, some
between you and the marriage.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. So
balance is a whole nother topic, and we can dive into that when we do our next podcast.
Absolutely.
But balance is so important because you have to balance your purpose, the purpose of your marriage relationship, and the purpose of your partner.
Right.
Because you have to support each other. Why would you not?
Then not to mention everything else you got to balance in life.
Yeah. If you have kids, if you have, whatever jobs you may have. So balance is going to be key.
Yeah. It absolutely is going to be key.
Yeah. If you don't want your marriage to be just a selfie.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Now, if you're okay with your marriage being a selfie, hey, let the chips fall where they may.
Let the chips fall where they may, and we're gonna say a prayer for you.
We're gonna pray for you.
We're gonna say a prayer for you. So listen, Real quickly, because I know we're about to end.
It's been 30 minutes
It
already.
is. It is.
We could really do some talking.
It
y'all.
is, and we could, because we could. I mean, podcast says it itself. Everything relationships.
Yeah.
Everything relationship. But in today's episode, we just want to make sure that you understand that marriage and notice we keep saying serious relationships or engagement. It's a selfless thing. It's a selfless thing.
Yeah.
It's almost like me standing up to take a selfie, but Tanya is in the background of my selfie, trying her best to get in
there.
But I'm just it's all about me. It's all about me. and marriage is it just can't be like that.
It's like you have to create space for that to be important,
right?
Even in your photos,
right. What's a final word?
I think you just said the final word.
Okay.
Marriage is a selfless act.
It's a selfless act.
If you are contemplating marriage, or if you are in a relationship and you are engaged, understand that marriage is a selfless act. Have that conversation with each other. Talk about what marriage is going to look like for you. And if you're already married and you did not have that conversation, double back. Have that conversation and talk about what marriage needs to look like, what your expectations are from each other in the marriage. Now, I'm not saying give each other ultimatums. I'm saying discuss, compromise, communicate, what marriage needs to look like for the two of you to be healthy.
Right. That's good. Be mature about it as well.
Be very mature.
And then and just a
pettiness.
Yeah. And just a word for our single listeners as well. It's okay to if you're in your selfish season. It's okay if it's in this season it's all about you. What's not okay is if you enter into a relationship and you still want to be selfish.
It's not okay, guys.
It's not okay. It's gonna be a long road. So
it's gonna be a hard road.
Yes, it is. So,
but marriage is more than a selfie, guys.
Yes, it is.
Marriage is more than a selfie. I think that was a good topic.
I do too.
Let us know what y'all think. There is a comment section.
Yeah, put in the comments. Check it out.
Let us know what you think. If you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe.
Please.
Act and Act Right
is
our website. actandact.com.
Yes.
Act Right Out Loud is our YouTube.
Yes. Also, definitely go to actandact.com and get some of this amazing merch.
I don't know if Team Us is still on there because I think we sold out the last time we did these.
The Team Us, about that married life. Yeah.
If you for real about it,
if you for real about
it, and you ain't doing right.
Yeah. Come on now. You got to be about the married life.
You got to be about it. If you're married.
You got to be about that married life. And now, if you want to just prophesy to yourself as a single person and where.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Once again, I'm Jermaine.
I'm telling you, y'all.
And thank y'all for tuning in to the Act Right Out Loud podcast. We'll see y'all next week.
All right.